Et on met du rouge
Un
des
peu
deux.
round now, moitié orange.
Wow.
Yeah. Burnt orange. It's not loud, eh?
You're loud enough.
Pack it up. Good morning.
Nancy here.
Oh,
House
so
of
you're
Pain.
introducing me now?
Yeah. Rock here.
Nancy here.
Oh.
Oh.
Fucking.
How's everybody doing this morning?
How is
oh,
everybody
it's
doing?
Friday.
Come on, it's Friday.
I can't believe it. It's like this week flew by so quickly. It's like,
Well,
wow, we're
yeah.
already Friday. I guess we had a short week, so it's...
Well, we didn't have a short week. We just had our routine was kind of like
Yes, and that...
topsy-turvy.
That is one thing that...
with my daughter's birthday and
Yeah, it
Our
really,
daughter's birthday.
you know, when your routine is off, like you kind of feel off, you feel disoriented, and
Yeah.
it's much easier to get off track, and that's what we were kind of like focusing on this week is how to get back on track.
yeah.
So yeah, so
Here we are.
Here we are.
Back on track.
Friday morning.
Questions and answers.
Questions and answers.
Talking to ourselves.
I have a question for you guys,
Who?
the audience,
Okay.
the millions of audience.
The millions of fans across the galaxy.
Well, I'm gonna ask you too.
Okay, well, let's go.
So, what is the one thing that you struggle with, and how do you manage that? How do you manage it? How do you learn to manage it? How do you learn to manage it?
Me? It's really getting this book started again. I'm
Okay.
having a hard time with that. Because I'm not an artist. And, you know, I thought that you hired artists and then you explained to them what you want and then they ran with that.
That's not how it works.
Well, the artist I hired needed me to hold his hand and explain everything. And I was like, well, aren't you like, where's the creative freedom that we always talk about? Or artists always talk about wanting? I'm giving it to you. Creative freedom. I'm telling you what I want, make it up. But it was difficult. And now I'm thinking I'm struggling with having to make my own sketches so that an artist can take it and say, oh, this is what you want. Okay. But then I'm not an artist. And it's really hard for me to focus my energies towards doing something I'm like stickman. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like, I just want to get the story dialed in. I want an artist to be able to jump into my brain and like understand.
But wouldn't it be like, so if the artist could read your book or, you know, the draft,
Yeah.
and then they can take their own imagery and creativity.
Well,
and
that's
then,
what I want them to do, right? That's what I
So
want
could you do
the
that?
artist to do. 100%. But I mean, I gotta find a good artist. Maybe that's what I'm focusing my energies in the wrong place here. Like I'm trying
it
to,
sounds like that.
because I'm trying to like become an artist
Yeah.
overnight, and it's like whoa. I'm discouraged because it's like
Well,
I
because
can't.
you're not playing to your strengths.
I'm not, and I
you're not an
I
artist.
shouldn't learn to become an artist just
Well,
so
a
an
drawing artist.
Just so yeah, like a drawing sketch artist.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have to learn to sketch properly so that an artist can grab it and make something with that. That's,
Yeah.
To me, that just seems like, well, why am I paying you? Why don't I just do it myself?
No, exactly. I think maybe the strategy is maybe.
Yeah, I gotta
off.
revisit my strategy because
Yeah.
it's really been un bâton des roues. It's been stopping me from progressing for the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
It's
true.
like I don't want to do these sketches. It's a great idea there, but like I just no. I am not going to be one of these people that are going to learn all the little itty bitty details of something just so that I can say that I did it myself. I would rather just hire somebody who's a pro and then just have the finished product.
Yeah.
Same thing with my website. Whenever that comes, as I progress, I'm not going to do that myself. I'm going to hire somebody to do that. It's not my strength. Why would I pull the remaining hair off my head when people are actually professionals and can make it like in an afternoon?
Yeah, I mean, there's some truth to what you're saying, and maybe that's how you operate. But
That's how I feel. That's how I feel.
That's how you operate. Some other people, like myself, I like to learn all of the moving parts, just because then I have more control over those moving parts. Whenever it's not going well, then I'm not like
Yeah.
I'm not like
You're able to troubleshoot your own problems.
exactly, and I'm not like having to rely on other people who will fix my problems. But I've always been that way. Like that's just my
Yeah.
nature of like,
But for me, it's a matter of time, wasting time.
you know, I get it.
when you could just hire somebody like for $60 to fix all your errors, and you can take that hour or two to focus on creating what you really want,
Yeah.
as opposed to pulling your teeth out or pulling your hair out to try to fix this online computer issue that you have no interest in fixing.
Yeah, there's some truth
There's a
in
truth
both
to both sides.
and
Just depends on where you are at and what your goals are. You know, if your goal is to learn to create websites, then don't hire somebody to do that. Like,
no, exactly.
You do that.
Right.
My goal is to become the writer. That's where I want to be, like the writer.
Yeah, for me. And like for me, I find like, you know, my goal is to be an influencer online.
Yeah.
And to learn how to do that, I'm taking 2 different types of courses to help me,
Yep.
you know, deepen my education in nutrition, and then also
Yeah.
how to become an influencer online. So I'm doing that. And I'm also, I do tend to struggle with, like, I feel like I'm at like a standstill when it comes to growing that brand, and
Yeah.
and that's where.
Yeah.
So if I'm struggling with that, then I want to learn how to do that.
How to breach that
Yeah, exactly.
threshold.
Yeah, so that's what
Yeah.
I'm working on too.
I know it's one of those things where we are like we sit here, we talk to you guys about stuff, but we're still human.
Oh yeah.
We're not gods.
Oh my.
Okay, I know you guys worship us, but still, like, we're just.
Seriously. Oh gosh.
I'm kidding. They know.
I want to know you guys though. Like, it is questions and answers. I like question and answers because it's a way of us engaging. I mean, we always show up and like really like.
We're the talkers.
We're the talkers, but I really want today's session to be like, let's engage. Like, what is the thing that you're struggling with, and what are you learning how to, or like not overcome, but like how are you managing that? Like, if you want to share, that'd
Yeah.
be cool.
What is the one thing you're working on, and what are you struggling with, and how are you overcoming it?
Yeah, exactly.
Basically.
Yeah, that would be.
Yeah, that'd be nice to
it'd be
know.
Cool to know.
Nice to know.
In the meantime, I would probably share.
You probably, or will you?
I will share
Okay.
like what the main thing that I struggle with lately. No,
Oh.
no, is I would probably say my self-worth. And I would. How can I explain that? It's just it comes in many different forms. It's like I want to be able to, like, do I know enough? Am I good enough to provide?
Yes.
You know, like the services to help people.
Yes.
You know, it's just I sometimes struggle with that because it's like
It's this imposter syndrome that you have.
Yeah.
You are still thinking to yourself, who the hell am I to help people?
Yeah, exactly. Like,
And
do
it's
I know
like-
enough? Do I have the tools to help them?
And the answer is yes, and
yeah.
the other answer is, who the hell are you to not do that?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, exactly.
I think about that sometimes too. Who the hell am I to think that like Zombie Book is going to be anything but just something that is going to sit in my drawer for the rest of my... Who the hell am I to think that I'm going to be successful doing that? And then I
Yeah.
start thinking to myself, that's not some very good self-talk there. So
Yeah.
why don't you start thinking about why not you? Why can't it be you?
Yeah. And I think the way for me to learn, like to learn how to manage that properly, I think it really does stem from right at the beginning. Like
Childhood.
Like it was when I was suffering from
100%.
anxiety and panic attacks.
Yep.
It was very easy to live small, to play safe,
Yeah.
to you know, like really live in those dark, scary
Secure.
security, like all those things, and then when I can put that into perspective about then and now and how far I've come, that really helps increase my self-worth because
100%.
I've done so much work to get to where I am today, and that's initially what I want to share with the people. Like, how did I get from there to here, so then people can learn how to live in a more peaceful.
Well, how they can get from there to here.
Yeah,
Same thing.
exactly.
It's the same thing. You want people to live a good life because we have a good life. We're happy.
No, exactly.
It's not necessarily where I want to end up long term, but in this in this moment, I'm happy.
Yeah.
Daughter's in perfect health. My wife's in perfect health. I'm in perfect health. You know, we've got money, food. Like we're not rich, but we're rich in other ways.
And I think you know, being grounded, being centered.
Yeah.
And being grateful, I think those are the three main focus
Yeah.
that really helps bring our lives in a more like fulfilling, loving, happy.
Yeah.
You know, just.
And you know, we've got things, good things that are coming, almost good things that are here, almost. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you know, we're pursuing another job, and you're getting more clients in your health coaching,
Mm-hmm.
and you know, so these are all great things. Like these are fantastic things. I only see positivity in our future. I don't see anything negative coming.
That's great, and it's good because it's like sometimes when you're stuck in the dark clouds, sometimes that's all you see, and
Yeah.
then those things can kind of take over and have a lot of power over your life, and then that's why it makes you
Yeah.
live small, and then
100%.
not being able to fulfill whatever you want to fulfill, and oftentimes when you suffer from anxiety, like. Back in the day, I was like, I had no idea. Like, my brain was just in survival mode. I had no idea. Like, I was just trying to survive the day, hopefully not have a full-blown panic attack. But that's just no way to live. It's like, wow.
And that was years ago.
That was like 10
Well, I wouldn't say 10 years
10
ago,
plus
but
years ago.
yeah,
But
so
sometimes I tap into that.
6,
Like,
7.
it's like I still feel like at times, you know, feel anxious, or sometimes I'll have an anxiety attack. And it's.
I feel that too sometimes.
And I think it's something that we need, like, I'm learning more and more to accept that it's part of me and continue to learn how to properly manage it in order to share what I've learned, so then I can help the next person
Yeah.
suffer less.
I
Right?
find that too lately, like because I've been stuck with the book, I'm like anxious because I don't know what to do with myself. I know I have the project to do, but I'm stuck there, right? So it's like now I catch myself just walking around the apartment, like pacing, like a horse that's
Right.
been worked too hard or something.
Like your purpose is
Like it's-
behind you and you don't know where to go.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So then yesterday I sat on the couch and I did some deep breathing. I did that for like 5 minutes just to re-ground myself, because I
That's
noticed,
great.
whoa, I'm not even breathing here. Like, well, that's why I'm feeling all jittery.
Yeah.
So I sat down and took like, 10 or 15 deep breaths, and that lasted 2-3 minutes, whatever. And that helped ground me a lot. We overlook breathing. We forget that sometimes when we are in an anxious state and we're not even aware, we are breathing very shallow.
Yeah.
And that's in itself contributing to the anxiety state,
Yeah.
the anxious state.
Yeah.
And as you continue to deep breathe, you are literally, it's like a reset button. Reset.
Well, it's centering yourself.
It's centering yourself. Because when you're born, the first thing you do, in general, is you take a big, deep breath and then you cry, right? In general. So that's a reset button. It's like brand new. You're being almost reborn in that re-breath.
Yeah.
And anytime you feel like you're not on, or you're not centered or grounded, it's probably because you're not breathing properly. That's one of the things that's hindering
Well-
your concentration on being grounded. Of course, you could have all these thoughts, right? I understand that. But then when you have all these thoughts of anxiety, whatever else, you regret and fear and whatever, your body goes into like this panic state. And
It responds.
And all the blood goes to your body, your extremities, because it's getting ready to fight or flight, and you don't breathe as deeply as you are supposed to. So
Yeah.
I would suggest you guys, whenever you're feeling like you're anxious or sad or anything, or even angry, you're probably not breathing right. Your breathing cycle is off, and you would want to slow that down.
Yeah. And the thing is that when you're turning to your breath, you're really consciously breathing. It really brings you back in that present moment, and where you
100%.
feel like, because a lot of our anxiety comes from what if. So
Right
when
here.
you're breathing deeply, it turns your what ifs into what is. So what is present right now
Yeah.
is you're usually safe. You're safe. Like
Yeah.
you're in your home.
Yeah.
You're there's nothing nothing dangerous happening.
Right.
So really turning into all of your senses inside your body, where you feel it in your body.
Exactly.
Focusing into your breathing. A really great way to focus on your breathing would be, it's called like a box breathing. So you just imagine yourself like breathing into a box. So you start with one corner, you inhale for like 4 seconds, and then you hold, cross, and then you exhale for 4 seconds, and then you cross over. It's like you picture this box.
Yeah, it's like counting sheep. It's the same thing. It's
But
the
it
same,
really helps to bring your focus into the present moment,
Yeah.
and then focus on that box. And it's like,
It's the same principle as counting sheep. When you tell children when they can't go to sleep, count sheep. Imagine sheep jumping over a fence and count.
Yeah.
you're really training them into breathing. That's what
Yeah.
you're doing.
Yeah.
And you're giving them a visual, right?
Yes.
So it's similar to the box, right?
Yes, exactly.
If the box don't work, count sheep.
No, that's the thing. You want to breathe in for 4 seconds, hold 4 seconds, exhale 4 seconds, and hold out 4 seconds. So you want to do that. It's kind of like a box.
Yeah.
Box
Breathe in
breathing.
4, hold for 4, exhale 4, hold, exhale for 4. Start over.
That's the thing. And then also, if that doesn't work, you really want to bring like your senses into the present moment. So if you're
Touch
having
something right near you, like your
yeah,
couch,
like if you're
feel the
having, if you're
texture.
really feeling anxious, or if you're having like a full-blown panic attack, it's gonna be a little harder to breathe. Trust me. It's like, oh yeah, when you're feeling anxious, just breathe. Yeah, it's easy
Yeah,
for
no,
you
no,
to
I
say.
know,
It's
no, I
actually
know.
really difficult
Whoa,
to breathe.
yeah, I know that.
So what you want to do is, if you want to learn to dial it down, then you can really focus on what you can see in that present moment,
Yeah.
what you can hear in that present moment,
Touch.
what you can feel in
Taste,
that present
lick
moment.
your couch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stop. No, but that's the thing, and it really kind of it brings you more into that present moment, where it's more like you feel more at peace.
Yeah.
And then now you can really focus more on breathing, box breathing, and
Yeah.
that generally dampens down quite a bit, because it's like in your exhale,
Yeah.
it sends a signal to your the phrenic nerve, which is attached to your diaphragm, that you're safe. So there is like this is backed up by science.
Yeah.
There is a
She didn't just make it up.
no,
right
no,
now.
no. It's literally.
Check it. Google
Trust
it.
me, I spent like many years learning how to manage my full-blown anxiety, and also how to invite more peace and love and gratitude in
Yeah.
in my life, because I don't want to set myself up to always live in the fear and anxiety. So
No, what are you, a gazelle?
no, that's the thing. But and then that is the mission forward for me.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, it's one of those things you got to focus on, because the brain is what's creating the anxiety. Sure, you can say, well, there are many factors like food, not eating properly. That's one of the factors that contributes to your anxiety. But ultimately,
Yeah,
it's
because
your
of the
thoughts.
brain-gut connection.
Yeah, it's your thoughts, right? And if your thoughts are getting you in trouble, then your thoughts can get you out of trouble.
Yeah, there's
basically.
there's truth like there's two truth to that, like
Just
two truth to that, two truth to that. So
So
it's called the brain gut. There's
I feel like I'm gonna get fired soon.
You're gonna get fired. You're getting the boot. There's a brain gut connection. So one is, yes, your thoughts can be your anxiety can be driven by your thoughts, but also your gut is essentially your second brain.
Yeah.
So if you have an unhealthy gut, if the chemistry is unbalanced in your
Yeah.
gut, then that will drive you to feel anxious,
100%.
and then will trigger dark, scary
if
thoughts.
all you eat is
so it's like a loop.
pop and fries and pizza, and you have zero, like almost no nutritional value in your food, that will 100% contribute to anxiety or a feeling of unease, because your body's like, why are you not giving me anything that has any value? You keep pumping garbage into me, and then you wonder why I'm anxious, jittery, or whatever else. That's because of what's inside your body's doing that, right?
And that's how I learned right at the very beginning. Like when I transitioned to a healthier lifestyle,
Yeah.
I started feeling better. Like I felt less anxious. I felt more happy.
Food does that.
I had
Food
more
heals.
energy, and then I'm like, okay, well, I'm onto something here. And then I just, as I evolved in my journey, I was just learning more about gut health,
Yeah.
the brain gut connection, and
And then
how
you took a
like
course, and it's been quite the journey so far.
quite the journey. And
Quite the
it's
journey.
a beautiful way, and I love it. Just this morning I was biking, I'm like, man, like friggin' 10, 12 years ago, this would not be me. Like first of all, living in Ottawa, I didn't feel safe to live in big cities. I couldn't drive any major highways. Biking, forget it, because it's like there's so many things that could happen. The blue
Yeah.
van can turn around, like
blue van, that's right, the
to
blue-
come around and then kidnap me, or like
Yeah, the blue
and
van.
now it's like I'm biking around and I'm seeing like people that are sleeping on benches. I'm like, oh, like it doesn't faze me. And you really can get to that space.
Yeah, 100%.
But it takes work.
It takes work, and
It's a lot of work.
Yeah, wrap it up.
Are there any other questions or comments before we go? Otherwise, we'll wish you guys a really
are
happy
done
weekend.
here. I'm hungry.
You're hungry? Okay. And I'll make you a smoothie too.
Oh yeah. Wrap it up.
As always, we love you. We're thinking about you. And we will see you guys Monday morning at 7:15. Thank you so much for joining. Have a nice weekend.
Be a good person. Come on.